Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Nishmas, Mordche. I'm back. It's geschmack to be back. As geschmack as it was. I know, you skiing the whole time at Disney World. No, not Disney World, but it's still very difficult to get all these shurim out. I'll show you a little piece. If you weren't up to date and you weren't watching, so I'll fill you in a little bit. But I think we have to do this more often. We have to go visit the mishpacha. You guys here, I know you hate it, and we might have lost a couple of people. It doesn't look like it, but welcome to all the guests. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Moshe Handler, all the way from Lakewood, New Jersey. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Shmuel Israeli. You're the guy. So Reb Shmuel, when I was in Flatbush by that shear, when was that? SLC, but how long ago was that? It just seems forever. So you guys did a police escort to the burger joint, and he's on his motorcycle on the fleet. That's gewaldig. Okay. Oh, the parents Chaim Levine is in the house. Get over here. But as you come here, you have to think to give the ybl'c. How do you do it? Come here, Parents Chaim. Who else is here? I saw. What's your name? What's your name? Nassim Bergstein from Lakewood. Shalom Aleichem, another Lakewooder. You know each other, B'chnal? Yeah, a little bit. Really? The Sal against his roommate. No? How was it? Yeah, okay, we'll talk. We'll choose later. Shalom Aleichem, Parents Chaim. How do you do this? How do you do it?
First of all, it's a very easy product to sell.
Oh, yeah.
And also, the best salesman is someone who believes in this product. And that comes out from the sincerity of the pitch.
Aha, Givaldi. Tell us, what do you do again? Remind me.
I work for Goldman Sachs. I'm vice president of Goldman Sachs.
Vice president of Goldman Sachs?
Among 20,000 others, probably.
Givaldi, thank you for everything you do. How many people you're up to?
I don't know, 650.
650? All right. Keep saying Givaldi. Who's is the barber your Talmud or you're his Talmud?
We both are together. We give each other chutz because
Givaldi. Okay. Unbelievable. Huh? A bris. Oh, mazel tov. That's what I hear. Wow. Givaldi. Hey, Benny, okay. Bris, talking about bris. Mark Weinrib. At MDY Simcha this morning, the Chashav Shul of Rabbi Shabbos and Muncie with a strict no-talking policy. A heartzik and mazel tov to Moshe Rabinovich and to the Rich Ackerman families. Check out, the baby has one of these do not disturb MDY in progress. Rabbi Isai. Who's the one that came up with this? If anybody wants one, you could give these out. It's on the house. Givaldi, exact cutting God the bris. Kach Yiske Ligmar Kala Shasim MDY. Dear Belly, here's a photo and video of the Siyum we had last Tuesday at Kadima Shul, hoping people in Sydney, Australia will recognize faces, reach out and join us to make a bigger group. Thanks for making it so easy and interesting. Mervyn Stein, Yishkoyach, Sydney. Jonathan Birnbaum. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Hello, Rebelli. It's Mamish Bashert. Everything's Bashert. He writes that when we started talking, my wife was standing right next to me. B'kitz, I tried to pull off a Peretz Chaim Levin on the slopes in Vail. I saw a guy, I chapped he was Jewish, as much as he tried to hide it. And I asked him if he does the daf, and he had a lot of excuses. And he says, because you came over to me, I will Be'ezer Hashem start. I just need to know where the oil was holding. We're holding a Nazir, daf, to Zayin, a brand new parak. Today's your day to start. The kids are... Special thank you for starting to talk to me. I'm an introvert myself, and don't talk to. I don't think so. You didn't look like it. I don't know if I can avoid it. So thank you. Hatzlacha Rabbi Chaim Birnbaum. Hatzlacha. Our boys here is Yochanan Itzkowitz and a bunch of the guys. Even after a long day of learning Torah from morning till evening, attaches a group of the MDYers doing the daf at a time Shasathon in Kalahari, Pennsylvania. So they did their 10. This past Sunday, February 5th, over 256 Lamdim learned an average of 10 blot each, so that we can finish the entire Shas. And one day the support couples looking to have their children of their own. During the Siyum, the MDYers took a break to do the day's daf with the rebellion picture left to right. Rafi Merle, Penny Kreisel, Manis Berkovici, Yochanan Itzkowitz, and Ari Morrison, the famous Ari Morrison from Art Scroll, all the way on the right. Oh, that's what it was. The Chanan Pressman. Yishkoyach. Do not disturb. The backstory, MKY status. It says on Friday morning we featured footage of Or Avner Talmidim visiting the Kal of a Rebbe. The Rebbe encouraged the boys to set time for Torah learning, and bracha would follow. On their way back home, the boys stopped at a restaurant. While there, they met someone who told them about the Daf Shir of Rabbi Eli Stefansky, giving them the Gemaras that come with a commitment. And as you can see, it's Rafal the barber in the background. He's the one that chapped them. Yishkoyach. Oh, this, I don't want to toot my horn so much, but Rabbi Chmiel said he saw this video. I want to correct him. He says, one of your admirers saw you learning on the plane. He shared with the Chevra. What I find most impressive about the video is not that you were sitting on the plane and learning. What impressed me the most that after a quick acknowledgement, you didn't let the admiration of one of your Hasidim pull you away from that learning. It's a valuable lesson. In the video, you demonstrate that it's not about that. Let me show you the video, and then I'll explain to you why he's a little wrong here. Okay, here it is. You ready? It has volume.
Have a safe flight, Rabbi Yisai.
Now, that was very, very short. Now, I'll tell you why.
Have a safe flight, Rabbi Yisai.
Usually I'll give the guy a lot more time, so I asked him Mechila. There was boarding, and I wanted to learn with Rabbi Yedidia, the Chavrusa. So I called him out, that's why I have that piece in my ear. So I was learning with him, he's in the middle of learning with me, he's telling me something, so that's why but typically I would stop and say hello. I'm not such a snob. Okay. And finally, we got to start learning. I'll just say this real quickly, because yesterday he says that I brought tears to his eyes. At the end of yesterday's daf, I basically started crying. And what it was just a culmination of finishing all these shurim that were, for me, very difficult. This one was on the way to the airport. My family didn't want me to give the shir, and they're like, we got to go already. And I said, I'll just do it real quick in a half hour. And then when I was done with the shir, I was like, ugh. And the night before, I gave a shir. I was really tired. And I came home, gave the shir, and I was completely done. And I looked and I saw I didn't press record. So I had to redo the entire shir over. And it's just one thing after another. And then finally, I just let it out. So he's like, Ari Eli says he's a Magid and he felt it tsar, he knows the Mesiras Nefesh, Yishkoyach Ari Eli. Okay. Rabbi said, ooh, what? Yeah, I was mafkir, but my wife was like in it. She ran back and she got it back. Avi, do you know the story? Who doesn't know the story? Because I don't want to. It's interesting. I didn't know. No, it's like when you get married, they don't tell you that if you have a baby, you're going to be up all night for the next 3 years. So I buy this Tesla and it says upgrade. So I got out of the car for a minute. I pushed the upgrade. I figured by the time I get out of Target, it's 5 minutes in, out, a lot. It says, 2% done, upgrade. Basically, I'd have to wait for 3 hours, and you can't start the car if it's upgrading. It's like a computer. I left the car there. Shalom Yisrael. I need a Tesla. But then my wife went back and was like in it. Fine. Says the Koil is sponsored by Anon Ymous from Leilu. The Koil may support and Torah strengthen our bitachon. The Masechta is sponsored by Maaser. The Masechta is sponsored by Nishmas Chaya Bas Yosef. And the Parnas HaChodesh, Leilu Nishmas Zechrya ben Mordche. Parnas HaChodesh, Shprintzy and Alan Gross. The yahrzeits of our father, Zlman ben Ytzchak Aייzik. And Leilu Nishmas B'yom and Aייzik ben Tzvi Hirsch HaKohen Zechron Levracha. Third Parnas HaChodesh, then the wife having Leilu Nishmas Boruch Helfgott Zechron Levracha ben ybl'c Mordche שלמה. First, Parnas HaYom, Justin Ivry, L'chvoy Dish HaMufla Marbitz. I didn't read this. Oy vavoy, Marbitz Rebelli. B'nei Beis, welcome home. Also, he missed his name when reading his. Who's that? Oh, the night of Miami Museum. Thank you. That's written by Yosef. Welcome, I'm Justin Ivry. Koyach Lasis Chayil. You know, talking about, I thought about this morning. I forgot to give a proper Yishkoyach to our great friend from South Africa. You know what I'm talking about? Who wrote the book? Who gave? Anybody? Huh? That's right. Leon Welcher paid for the entire book. I forgot to thank him at the Siyam. I was thinking about it today. Okay, so welcome home. Daf Yudala ×2. Koyach Lasis Chayil. Abba Rennert, in honor of my son Benny, who's learning Megillah with the R Eli Shlita, we are very proud. Somebody gave an eitzah, it's an email I didn't read, that he's starting Megillah now to finish it by Purim, and maybe if anybody wants to join him, it's a great idea. You can finish Masechtas Megillah. By Michael Ben Bella, in Mary, my mother's yard side, Devora Faige, Bat Shmuel, Zechariah, Vracha, Mary Neshama have an Aliyah. And finally, Yosef Wasserman, for Shlema, Chana, Bas Yocheved, she should have a refuah Shlema. And the art of the month for complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi, Ben Leah. Rabbi say, here we go. Brand new parak, Daf Amud Aleph. Mi Shomar, sponsored, Leilu Nishmas, Mary Yechiel, Ben, Rabbi Avram. Is today's last sponsorship, you said? Something like that? We have nothing for the next one. Nothing for the next one. But he gets 4 for 1. This mission is actually 4 mishnayos, all put in one. Usually it's the opposite. Usually they break up the mishnayos in Bavli, in the Gemara. Over here we get 4 mishnayos, all put into one. Misha Omar Hareini Nazir, Migalech Yoim Shloishim Ve'echad. Question, Rabbi Isai, when a person says, I'm a Nazir, how many days does he become a Nazir? Leilu, don't even begin to answer that. How many? Very good. Who else? It's Machlokes. 30 or 29. Rav Masna and Bar Pada. So I was debating whether to do the whole mission like Rav Masna and then go over Rav Pada. We could just say Rav Pada real quickly. There's not a whole lot of nafkaminas. They both, as the Gemara tells us, the lashon of the Gemara is that the Mishnah goes according to both. We can fit it both in. I can't even see my own thing here. Fine. The Kulu Kedavinam Ba Aliba the Bar Pada Rav Masna, they both fit beautifully right in. So it goes like this. A person says, Hareini Nazir, as you see, and I have to say gracious Zchariah to Yoshi. He helped me out a lot during the trip. He eased the pain by making a lot of charts and making a geshmak. So Yishkoyach, and here he is again with many charts today to just do the sugya. Mishom Hareini Nazir. Person says, I'm a Nazir. Megaleach Yoim Shloishim Ve'echad. Since Stam Naziros, according to Rav Masna, is 30 days midiraisa, so you have to finish the 30 days, and when you're done, you do the following day, you do giluach, you bring korbanos. Now, according to Rav Masna, we're going to see miktsas hayom kikuloi. So, you do part of the day, it's as if you did the entire day. But according to Bar Pada, midiraisa, naziros, stam naziros, if a person says Hareini Nazir, doesn't specify how long, it's 29 days. But they both agree on one thing, that on the 31st day, that's when you do the giluach and the korbanos, because Bar Pada is concerned about Gzeira, that since most people, when they do specify, they specify a 30-day period, right? That's your standard thing. People say, Hareini Nazir shloishim yom. So people will get confused between the 30 and the 29, and therefore he just says, you know what, let's just do the giluach and the korbanos on day 31. So everybody agrees it's on day 31. So therefore, you should do giluach on 31. But what happens? Let's see what he has here. So first of all, we have a pasuk v'gilach hanazir pesach hayal ma'is rosh nizroi v'lagasar rosh nizroi v'nasan al eish shetach zevach hashlamim. So over here the pasuk says he should shave his head completely, a 0-0, right, all the way to the skin. Take the hair and put it underneath the pot of the shlamim. Now, what if he decided to jump the gun? Here, Stav Nazir is 30 days, so therefore the giluach will be on day 31. But what if, these are the karbanas, ayil, shlamim. Ayil is the ram for the shlamim, keves lo'ila, and kivsa lachatos. 5. 3 karbanas that a nazir brings at the end. And then he shaves on day 31. Okay, I don't like that, great. Now, what happens if he shaved on day 30 instead? So the Mishnah says, V'mgilach l'yoyim shloishim yatsa. Why yatsa? Because Rav Masna holds miktsas hayoyim kikuloi. L'chatchila, you should push it off to day 31. But it's not the end of the world. B'di'eved, if he does it on day 30 because day 30 is the end of his Nazirus. And right after the end of his Nazirus, he goes ahead and he brings the Karbanis. Okay, Nishkeferlich. Barpada, who holds anyway he's done on day 29. And the only reason why we push it off to day 31 is because of some Derabanan Gzera. So if he does it on day 30, Givaldik, not Givaldik, but B'di'eved Yatza. Next case. You saw how he just stuck in Barpada? No problem. Barpada says 29, but it doesn't affect anything here. He holds the Midrabani, you have to wait to 31. And since it's anyways over on day 29, so certainly it's okay if he shaves on day 30. Hareini Nazir Shloishim Yom. Now he specifies. He doesn't say Hareini Nazir. He says the amount of days. Shloishim Yom. Im Gilach Liyom Shloishim Lo Yatza. Over here, we don't have any longer Mixas Hayom Kikulai. We don't have this idea that a partial day is a full day. Why? Because he says specifically Shloishim Yom. Shloishim Yom means 30 full days. You only say Mixas Hayom Kikulai when he says Hareini Nazir. I'm a Nazir. And we say it's for 30 days. Mixas Hayom Kikulai. Great. But when a person says specifically, I want to be a Nazir for 30 full days, then there's no Mixas Hayom Kikulai. He didn't say 30 full days, but we understand his words as 30 full days because he said Shloishim Yom. Hareini Nazir Shloishim Yom, Gilach Liyom Shloishim Lo Yatza. Now you're not Yotza. Mi Shenozar Shtei Nazirois. Now, next case. A guy here, 30 days. I'm just doing Yoshi for a second. Okay. Hareini Nazir. Doesn't say how long. And then he says, Hareini Nazir. Migalech Zarishoina. So you can't just do 2 consecutive terms of Naziros. You have to stop the first one, bring the Karbanas, and then restart the second one. So if it was 1, when do you do the Karbanas? On day 31. So Misha Nazir Shtei Naziros, Migalech Zarishoina Yom Shloishim Ve'echad. That's normal. What's 30 days later? After 31, what's 30 days later? They say 60. So if day 60 is day 30, when do you do the Karbanas and everything else? Day 61. So what should be Lechatchila is 31 and 61. Now, let's just understand, we're all on the same page. Why is day 30 on day 60? Because you start on day 31. Let's just do until 40. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 60. 60 is 30 days later. If you start on the day that you finished on 31, after you bring your Karbanas, you shave your head, you bring the Karbanas, then you start on day 31, 60 is day 30, 61 is day 31 where you're supposed to bring the Karbanas. But if you did what the Mishnah said before, b'di'eved, you went 1 day earlier, you did shloishim, so you yaitza. Now you restart your 30 days from that day. So when are you done? If you do 30 days, starting on 30, 59, right? If you start on 31, 30 days later, 60. So if you start on 30 days later is 59. And therefore, 1 plus 59, when do you do the tiglachas? And the karbanas 1 day later, on day 60. But if you jumped it, on the second is zeros, you should have done lechatchila. You should have taken the haircut on day 60. But just like on the first haircut, if you go 1 day earlier, you're yaitza. So too, if you go 1 day earlier, on day 16, do on day 59, you're also yaitza. So according to Rapada, typical Nazirus is 29 days, but he's masking that the Giloch is on day 31. So everything works according to Bar Pada also over here. At the end of the day, you have to shave on day 31, even if you're Bar Pada. Okay, now the Mishnah is just saying we have an Eidos, exactly like we just said. If he did 2 Naziros, if he jumped it one day earlier to 30, so then 31 days later is 60. And if you did it on 59, Yatza. Why? Because you're going to start on day 30 instead of 31. You're allowed to start on day 30, b'diavad, and 30 days later is 59, and memela you're yaitza. Next case. Mi shamar hareini Nazir. If a person said, let's see if we have anything here. Oh, just the 59. Okay. What's that? Ooh, I didn't see that one. Hareini Nazir stam. Okay. Misham hareini Nazir. Nitma yom shloishim soiser sakol. If he became Tomei on day 30, in other words, let's see if we have the pasuk here. Oh, here we have a great. Here is the Maaser. Oh, hi ybl'c, long time no see. Boruch mechaya mesim. He touches the dead person on day 30. Because whenever you touch a dead person during your Naziros, you have to start all over. It starts over. So, if he touched a dead person on day 30, what's going on there? He touched a dead guy on day 30. Isn't day 30 the last day? It's the last day. Don't we say mixes hayom kikuloi? According to our Maaser, mixes hayom kikuloi. It should be kilo, he finished. So how come he has to restart everything, do everything again, Rabbi Isai? Oh, very good. Because he didn't bring his karbanas. And you only say mixes hayom kikuloi when he's done. When he brought karbanas, the whole thing. But he didn't do it. He didn't bring his karbanas. What about Bar Pada? Bar Pada says it's completely over midoraisa when on day 29. Today is day 30, and he touched the dead person. So according to Bar Pada, it should be over completely. But what? The problem is midoraisa would be over, but midorabanan we say that you have to start over, but you don't bring korbanos because of that. That you don't bring korbanos. Says the Gemara, the Mishnah. Misham hareini Nazir, nitma yom shloishim, soiser sakol. There was a very chashuv person, Rav Baran, who was nifter like in the 40s. He used to do these long fasts, a few days using Yerushalayim. And there's a story about him that he was at the end of one of his fasts. So let's say he was doing a 3-day fast. Say from Monday to Thursday fast, whatever the day. It was a long fast, not just a typical fast. He was 15 minutes before the end of the fast. He said, I want to break my fast right now. He said, but you're almost done. You're going to ruin it. He says, I don't understand this taisvus, and it's not worth it for me to wait the 15 minutes and break the fast. I want to understand taisvus now. What happens, you start over. Start over. Azoi geitas. Fine. Soiser sakol. Nitma yom shloishim, soiser sakol. Talking about that, what happened to me that I gave the shear, that's nothing compared. I said this Maaser before, but I used to edit the 8-minute videos myself. So it took like an hour and a half. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm about to upload it, and my system crashed. I lost everything. I was so depressed, whatever. I said, okay, not depressed, just dejected. So I did it again. Sit there, every single step, Yosef can tell you how that works. Probably happened to you a number of times. Second time, it's already 3 a.m, whatever, hour and a half later. Push to upload, the system crashed. It's 2 times. So I did it a 3rd time. And the 3rd time it worked. And it was already Shachris by then. And we went to give shir. But things happen. If it doesn't always go smooth. And Lemaisa, it's every day I said to myself, it's so geschmack to be in this Medrash. I just show up here. Whenever I show up, I go. I don't know. I don't have to push record after this. Some guy up there, he does everything. Yishkoyach Reb Gershon. Be'emet. Yishkoyach. Reb David, that's you? You're the guy that helped out here? Reb David Delinsky. Yeah? That's Dovi. Together with the Remy. When I was gone, they changed a lot of the wiring here, and I was told that he worked here for over 12 hours. MS. So Yishkoyach Gadol. It's just every little things, like because the mouth and the sound were off. I don't know, that's what they were told. Now it's on. Everything. There's a camera. They moved the camera from there to there so we could see more of the guests and more of that camera. Gewalt, like different angles. Unbelievable. So Yishkoyach Dovi. And Avremi. Yishkoyach. Okay. Weiter gegangen. Rabbi Eliezer Oimer Eino Soiser Elo Shiva. So basically what Rabbi Eliezer is saying is that there's no stira at all. He became tamei. So a person that becomes tamei has to bring certain karbanas. Here, this is Nitm Lameis Tech Shloishim. Let's do that again. He counted, he did 15 days of Naziros, and then he became tamei. So look what happens, they all fall away. In other words, you have to start over. Great. Now, what just happened there? That wasn't good. I did a thing here. I hear. Okay, something weird happened. Basically, I was trying to show, I stole from Yoshi, and I guess there's some animation in it. Here, look real quickly. Look what happens. Okay. Anyway, when a Nazir becomes tahar, he brings 3 korbanos. They're all in the sheep family. But when when a Nazir becomes tamei, he has to bring different korbanos. As you can see, I want to show the difference. The 3 sheep, there's an ayol and a chatos and that we saw before. I just wanted to put it together. Over here you see there's 1 keves and 2 birds, a chatos and an ayol bird. That's when a Nazir becomes tamei. So what he's saying is that Rebbe Eliezer says you don't lose any days if you get tamei, if you become tamei in the last day. What you have to do is the regular the regular procedure of tahara when a person touches a dead person. So in the time of Beis Hamikdash, a person became tamei. Let's say a person became tamei. This is not good because it shows the 15th day. But okay, he's showing here nitma toich shloishim, not Rebbe Eliezer. Toich shloishim, so you become tamei. So what you have to do is on the 3rd and 7th day you get hazah. Here I show this. This is a haisip or whatever it's called, and you dip this in paraduma water and ashes, and you sprinkle it on the guy. I'm not going to do it again. I once sprinkled the Rabbi Shomber by mistake instead of. So, and then he has to shave his hair. You see over here, he shaves his hair on the 7th day. Then on the 8th day, he brings his korbanos. Okay, that's if you become tamei in middle of the term. But over here, it's on the last day of the term. Says Rebbe Eliezer, all he has to do is become tahar. Now, in Rebbe Eliezer, according to Rav Masna, again we have Rav Masna and Rav Pada. Rebbe Eliezer is going to hold that mixes hayoim kikuloi, even though he didn't bring his korbanos. Here, until now, we were saying that if you don't bring korbanos, then the day didn't end. Rebbe Eliezer is going to argue and it says the day does end because it's the final day. Mixes hayom kekuloi. He finished it. He didn't bring his korbanos. He doesn't have to bring his korbanos. So all you do is count 7 days of tahara and do whatever you need to do to become tar. But you don't bring a carbon for tumah. Why? Because he's not a Nazir anymore. A carbon, when you become tamei, is for a Nazir. A Nazir does this here. These 3 things on the bottom is when a Nazir becomes tamei. But this guy is already on day 30. And it's a mixed hayom kekula. He's already done with his Naziros. He just can't bring his karbanos. He can't do anything. Why can't he do anything? Because, let me see if I have this pasuk over here. I stuck it in somewhere. Here, this is the chart that Yoshi did. If it becomes Tameh all the way at the end, so you do the Hazah on day 3, you haircut and Hazah. Well, it should be the opposite. It should be Hazah and then haircut. Yeah, I'm just a small correction. Hazah, haircut, karbanas. Fine. Here, this is a pasuk I want you guys to see. It says, it says, Roya b'shelim and ayil. We're talking about the Nazir. V'chalas matzah achas min asal. He takes a matzah, ruki matzah. V'nasan al kapei Nazir. Where's the Nazir right now? He's in the Beis Hamikdash, and the Kohen takes a little bit of the ayil of the carbon, puts in his hand, puts a matzah in his hand. This a whole sandwich. The Nazir has to be there. The Nazir can't be there if he is Tameh. Says R Eliezer, let's go through the whole process of Tahara and then go to the Beis Hamikdash. But don't bring the 2 birds and a sheep because you're not a Nazir. Only a Nazir who becomes Tameh has to bring 2 birds and a sheep. Weiter. Hareini, sorry. Hareini Nazir shloishim yoim. Nitma yoim shloishim. Soiser sakal. If a person says straight out, I want to be a Nazir for 30 days, and we said when a person says that, it's as if he says, I want to be full days. So there's no mixasayim kekula here. Nitma yoim shloishim. If he becomes Tameh on day 30, soiser sakal, even according to R Eliezer, who says on the final day, you don't have to break everything, you just have to become tar. Over here, he admits that everything goes bye-bye. He has to start all over. Why? Because he never finished his term. Because he said shloishim, and shloishim means at the end of the day. Hareini Nazir me'yoim. Another case. According to Chacham, soy sakal, because you don't say mixayim kuloi. According to R Eliezer, you say shiva, you say mixayim kuloi. Okay. If he says mefurish, this is the case we just said, I want to be a Nazir for 30 days, according to everybody, you break, even according to R Eliezer, you break the whole thing. Hareini Nazir me'yoim. Here we go. Nitma yoimeya. This is very sad. He worked really hard for 100 days and he became Tameh on the final 100th day. He has to restart everything. He has to do 100 days all over. R Eliezer oimer. So R Eliezer, who says before you break 7 days, we already explained, it doesn't mean you break anything. It's 0. You just have to become tar. But when you really have to break something, you have to go backwards, says R Eliezer, you only go backwards 30 days. You don't have to go back 100. You don't have to go back, let's say a guy's a Nazir for 5 years and becomes Tameh all the way at the end of 5 years. According to Chacham and Tanakam, you have to go back 5 years. According to R Eliezer, only 30 days. Maximum 30 days. Nitma yoimei ve'echad. If it becomes Tameh on day 101, soiser shloishim yoim. Now, midaraisa, you don't have to break it, right? Midaraisa, you're done on day 100. On day 101 is when you do the giluach. So midarabbanan, there a geyser, because you might confuse 101 with 100. Okay, and according to Barpada also, in this case, this is a case where a person says straight out how many days he wants to become a Nazir. So he's a Nazir, according to Barpada also 100 days. There's no nafkamina here between Barpada and Masna. Again, there's only a max of 30 days according to R Eliezer. Nitma yoimei ve'echad soiser shloishim yoim. R Eliezer in a soiser elo shiva. Now, on 101, according to R Eliezer, you only go back 7 because according to R Eliezer, you're done. Even though you didn't bring the karbanas, you're done completely. Now you just have to wait 7 days to become tar, and the story. Says the Gemara, Misham hareini nazir v'nitma yoim shloishim. Going back, here's the story, just to remind you again, you saw that? The one with the skeleton. We're going back to one of the cases in the Mishnah. Hareini nazir v'nitma yoim shloishim, soises hakol. Yeah, it became Tameh, so you have to start all over. According to Rebbe, he was done completely, so you only go back 7. Sponsored the Chvoid Yeshivas Normat Torah, Yerushalayim, Barav, Devora Faige, who always encourages us to finish Shas. Latzlacha for the Magid Shir, the members of the HBA group and their families. Amen. Kosav R Eliezer kol achar melois shiva soiser. So Rabbi Eliezer holds once you're done. So now, what does it mean? So again, according to Rabbi Eliezer, so even if you didn't bring your karbanas, you're done. According to Rabbi Pada, most Nazirs, all Nazirs is 29 days. MMA he's completely done, and therefore, according to Rabbi Eliezer, you're soiser for 7 days. Haredi Nazir Shleishim Yom. If a person says, right, the case in the Mishnah where he's okay, that's that. Boom, boom, boom. Haredi Nazir Shleishim Yom. Benitma Yom Shleishim. Let's go weiter. Not this one. No, not this one. Okay. He says straight out he wants to be a Nazir for 30 days. And he became Tameh on the 30th day. Because there's no mixes Yom Kikuloi, he specified he wants 30 full days. Because the guy said specifically I want whole days. How did he say I want whole days? By specifying 30 days. The next case in the Mishnah, if he says I'm a Nazir for 100 days and he became Tameh on day 100, he has to start all over another 100 days of Nazirs. Max 30 days. Says the Gemara of a Kula, Aliba, the Barpada, Veramasna. The whole Mishnah goes according to Barpada, who says Stam Nazirs 29 days, Veramasna, who says Stam Nazirs 30 days. Says the Eli Mishnah, sponsored by Leilu Nishmas, Meir Yechiel Ben, Rabbi Avram. Nishmas should have an aliyah, yishkoich for your sponsorship. Nazir וב'b akvaros, and that's this final picture over here. I don't know if it's final, but there's a picture. He's sitting in a beis akvaros, becoming tameh, a constant tumah, and he says, "I want to become a Nazir." I thought it meant that, like a guy is a miron. A lot of people have asurs to become Nazirim. Go to Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. So he's in the beis akvaros. He's in a caver, and he says, "I want to become." Maybe there's people that say that it's not Mekabel Tumah. I don't know. That they're not. No, they're not Metama. They don't have Tumas Meis. No, they say you're allowed to go. I don't know if they hold mamish that a kohen could go. But so when Beis Hamikdash did, they'll just go there and they'll go to Beis Hamikdash. Shaila. By the way, I want to tell you, Hillel, this is just a private joke for you. There's a guy that went to the Beis Akvaris and he saw one of the graves shake. So yes, what's pshat? He said, "Oh, the guy used to learn with MDY, and every so often he gets one of the jokes from Nazir." It's a private joke. Okay, you get it. It was in Los Angeles, which a lot of people came over and told me they know you. And one person came over to me and told me, "You know Zavi." He said, he's like a big hack over there. I don't know. So the Gemara over there is discussed. The Mishnah says about a guy that says, "I want a son. If I am a son, I'll become a Nazir." And it doesn't include, if he has a girl, it doesn't include that. And I said, depends. We said it depends if you're Sephardi Ashkenazi. Okay. 30 seconds later, the Sephardi sitting to my right goes, he started burst out laughing. It took him 30 seconds to chab what happened. Okay. Yeah. But, okay, there's a guy in the Beis Akvaris. I just want to say this real quickly. There's a guy that was in the Beis Akvaris who wanted to show his friends that he's, he's brave. He's not scared of the Beis Akvaris at night. So he goes to the Beis Akvaris and he takes a hammer and 3 nails and he bangs 3 nails into the caver. And he's about to run out. He runs out. And he feels something grabbing him, so he faints. He wakes up and runs, and again, grabs him, until he realized that he nailed his own coat into the grave. And the Musar Haskell about that is that, this is what I said in Mishmar, which is a Gavaldic place, and I don't want to repeat it again and again, that most of the time, when people are held back, they say, "I can't do the daf, it's too fast, I don't have time." It's you yourself. It's the nail that you banged into the caver. Nobody else is holding you back. It's you yourself holding you back in life, business, Torah, everything else. Flick that guy right off your shoulder. Okay. Says the Mishnah, Mishnah Nazir וב'b hakvaros. Afilo hayesham shloishim yoyim ein oilim loy min minyan. Even if he was in the Beis hakvaros for 30 days, it doesn't count for the count of the Nazirus. Ve'enoi maybe carbon tuma. Doesn't bring a carbon tuma. Yotzav and Nishmas. In other words, he went out and he became tar, and he went back in. Oilin loy min minyan. What's oilin loy min minyan? It's good for the count. Now it's not good for any count. He went into the Beis hakvaros and he has to start all over again. What do you mean oilin loy min minyan? So it means, what does it mean? It means that he becomes tamei. He becomes a Nazir. He becomes tamei. I just want to point out, I heard this from my chavrusa, my Rabbi Yedida. He told me that the Tiferes Yisrael says that Mesechtes Nazir, there's no Mahadura Basra. In other words, there's no revision made to Mesechtes Nazir. Rav Ashi wrote it once, and he put it to print. He never went over it like all the other Mesechtes. So Memela, this is what the Tiferes Yisrael says. Therefore, there's a lot of interesting lashon, like we said, we saw the Rishonim, lashon Nazir, Mishuno, like we said by Nadir, Nidarim. There's funny things. It says, it's not Oyla, it doesn't, Oyla Menaminya means that you can count these days towards his Nazirus. You can't count the days. That's not what it means. So say whatever you mean to say. Okay, so there's no Madura Basra. You can say that on anything. Or maybe carbon tuma. You have to bring a carbon. Rebbe Lezer comes Rebbe Lezer with a huge chiddush, and he says that first day is not a problem. The only time that days fall off from Nazirus are when you have plural days. You have days, but one day doesn't fall off, and I can continue counting tomorrow as my second day of Nazirus, or whenever it becomes tar. Says the Gemara Itmar, the story of the Mishnah. He's inside the Beis hakvaros, and here there's a skull flying through. Okay, didn't notice that. No, not that. Next. Woo. I don't know what this is. Why I put that here? I guess it was supposed to be here for something. Mishnah Beis hakvaros. Huh?
He count 30 days. He doesn't recall bonuses. He's coming on the first day.
Yeah, the what?
He won't bring the Korban Tuna.
Yeah.
Only on the first day. It won't be another day. He won't start things.
I'm not sure that what you're saying is true. I'm not sure. We have to look at it. I think I saw differently. You're saying that what? That he won't bring the Korban Tuna. He only brings a carbon tuma when?
Only on the second day. On the first day, it doesn't make him bring a Korban Tuna.
On the first day, it doesn't bring a carbon tuma. On the second day, it doesn't bring a carbon tuma. Yeah, but what about the count? Lo batuach. Itmar. Misha Nazir v'beis hakvaros. You're right. Misha Nazir v'beis hakvaros. Rabbi Yochanan Omar Nazirus Chalalav. We're going to see the explanation of the Machlokes. Rabbi Yochanan says that he's a Nazir, and Rabbi Shlomo says he's not a Nazir yet. Rabbi Yochanan Omar Nazirus Chalalav. Sovar mitlatali v'kag. Rabbi Yochanan holds that the Nazirus is hanging above him. Kivin the mishkacha tahara chayla. So Rabbi Yochanan holds, listen, in order to become a Nazir, you need to be able to do everything. You need to be able to come tamei, drink wine, not drink wine, all this stuff. But what's happening here is that it's waiting to be chal. You're Nazir, you just happen to be in Beis hakvaros. So therefore, as we're going to see at the end of the sugi, if you drink wine, you shave, you don't leave the Beis hakvaros like you're supposed to. You're supposed to leave immediately, and if you don't, you get malchus. Adam come and tell you, get out of here. You're a Nazir, you have to go. And if you don't, you get malchus. Because the Nazirus is there. No, Nazirus is not there. But if he goes back and he says that he's a Nazir, so what did Rish Lakish add? If he's not a Nazir, so then what? Yes. So Taisus explains that according to Rish Lakish, he could just say, I want to be what I was before. In other words, the memra that I said I'm a Nazir, I don't know what he gains. He could just say Hareini Nazir, 2 words. Oh, but if he says, I want to be what I said, that's a Nazir. Another thing says Taisvis, that he has to accept upon himself the Nazirus immediately, because if not, he's over on Bal Ta'acher. You hear? Chidush, Bal Ta'acher. So Yochel has been dying from the Lashon from our Mishnah. It says in our Mishnah that it doesn't count. You don't bring a carbon tumah. It seems like that you are a Nazir, you just don't bring a carbon tumah. So Rosh Lakish says, no, don't be medayek. Carbon, nothing. 0. Not tumah, not carbon. Also, the galech here it says in the Braisa that if a person is tamei, he's mamish tamei, but he became a Nazir, he still has an isser to shave and to drink wine and to touch the dead. And if he doesn't listen, he gets malchus. If you say that the Nazirus is good, according to me, it's understandable that he gets malchus. But according to Rish Lakish, that he's not a Nazir at all. Says the Gemara, he got out of his tumah and became tar, and then he became tameh again. What's the chiddush? Same exact 2 chiddushin like we said a second ago, according to Rish Lakish. That what? First of all, he doesn't have to say the whole thing. He doesn't have to say I reign Nazir. He can say I want to be Nazir like I was before. And second of all, if he's not mekabel in the zeros right away, he's over in Bal Ta'acher. Have a wonderful day. Shkoyach.